Chapter 2. A Broken Legacy. You dream that night. A dream of a sparrow and a raven sitting side by side, an owl dead beneath their branch. The woods are dark, the trees eerier still, and from their depths steps a man wearing a deer skull as a mask. This is only the beginning. You awake with a start, breathing heavily as mists of the nightmare fade from your vision. Mima is still asleep, or is she? Do spirits even sleep? You're not sure, but she doesn't stir even as you rise from your bed. The cover is feeling damp and suffocating. Ew. You step outside your room to breathe. Your little quest comes to a halt, however, when you spot another resident to wake at this late hour. Victoria slips out the door of the shop, and you stand for a moment, weighing your options before you decide to follow. Staying as quiet as possible, you follow Victoria out into the alley behind the shop.
Victoria. I am ready to hear your report.
You listen in as Victoria relays the day's activities to her commander.
This is where we stand. I believe our next course of action should be to file for a warrant of the Goldner estate, to retrieve the sword and...
That would hardly be a swift solution, would it, Victoria? To file such a request, and get it approved, might take weeks. And let's not forget, we'd need to disclose the reason why this magical artifact would have been entrusted to you, instead of simply being destroyed.
But... the... protocol...
Sometimes we find ourselves in situations where alternative measures must be taken. If what this outlander says is true, and the situation can be resolved by completing this ritual, then that is now your highest priority.
With all due respect, Commander, this magic, we know nothing about it. It's as chaotic as it comes. If the Paragon knew about this...
I have already informed him of the situation, and he agrees with my assessment.
What?
The Paragon agrees. The sacrifice is worth it to keep the peace. Things are not as stable in the capital as they appear to be. An incident like this could cause a lot of unnecessary stress.
Oh, I'm sure it would.
I won't get into political details. Just know that this is by far the better option.
Rattles fewer cages, right?
Politics, huh?
Do you understand your orders?
I do.
Very well. I will be awaiting your report of a successful mission, then.
The image disappears, and you can no longer see Victoria's expression in the dark. Approach. You step out from your hiding spot and approach Victoria, who lets out a sigh. Just how long have you been standing there? Politics, huh? Long enough to understand that this crisis is all some political game for your boss. That's not... Oh, who am I kidding? Victoria lets out a heavy sigh. And it seems there's no other way than to go through with this break-in. Damn it, this is not how I wanted this to go. Don't feel bad, Goldner's an ass. I mean, he is. It does feel to be the best option we have.
Actually...
We have limited options. This seems to be the best we've got. I don't disagree, but this is not how things should work.
I do not want to be the judge of who or what deserves punishment. People's opinions are flawed. I am flawed. The system ensures that I don't make a mistake.
Your choice will impact Victoria's path going forward. Yeah, this is an interesting insight into Victoria. She's not just your average stick in the mud. There's a reason she is so hung up on what's legal and what it's not. She considers herself too flawed to be trusted with important decisions, so she trusts in the law to make that decision for her. She trusts in the law to be right. She's trying to put trust into a power she believes is greater than her. Power beyond human and what's the word I'm looking for? Power beyond human reasoning, as it were. But here's the thing. Humans are rarely, if ever, logical creatures. You've heard that one before? So while we do need the law, we need the law for a stable society. The system is made by people too. Morality does not equate to legality. And that's why we change laws all the time. The more we learn, the more we follow what is actually right, what was considered right before, gets put into perspective and appears less right in comparison. But I'm blathering.
About that.
Well, the system isn't perfect either. If we all agreed that murder was okay, then that would be a law, but it wouldn't be right. I think being able to assess your own morals and stand up to the people in power when you think they are wrong is a true form of courage. Victoria is silent for the longest time, mulling over your words. I don't agree with you. How can a society work without any rules? Well, it can't. But rules have to be subject to change. If rules don't change, we can't change. And it's change that makes us great, isn't it? We can't, if we don't change, we're stagnant. And if we're stagnant, that's just slow death. Why should my morals be more valid than anyone else's? Victoria sighs. Why are we discussing this? No matter, go back to bed. I have work to do. Romance. How can I sleep? We're going to be a little flirtatious here, lighten the mood a bit. I gotten a bit too philosophical. How can I possibly sleep? Knowing you are out here all by your lonesome when I could instead be at your side? Victoria cracks her knuckles.
I am not getting paid enough for this.
If you're having trouble sleeping, I'm sure I can find a solution for that. A fun solution? Right, I'll go to bed. Clever choice. Victoria disappears down the street, and you return to your room with a sigh. As you get up to face a new day, the sound of the valley awakening and waking up is strikingly normal. But things are not to what they used to be. Your mind no longer lingers on the mundane issues like your upcoming graduation or the flower festival. Instead, it dances around these strange new companions you have gathered, and the quest ahead of all of you. Mime, too, seems to be in a more serious mood. She is sitting by a broken window, staring out to the street, with a faraway look in her eyes. Penny for your thoughts?
Hi.
Good morning, Mime. What's gotten you so wrapped up in thought this early?
Hi.
Ah, good morning. Nothing that interesting, really.
About that.
This really went and took a turn on us, didn't it? An ancient spirit prison, huh? This is all so much bigger than I thought. I think because you turned out okay, it didn't really occur to me just how many people would be hurt by this. How many are going to end up like that kid, Kim, losing someone they care about to this madness?
I wonder.
You tackled the incident with Ronan yesterday so confidently. You didn't seem to doubt even for a second that we would be able to handle the situation. Meanwhile, all I could think about was how I could get away. You can do this. I know it.
This is it.
We can beat this. We have an awesome team behind us, and I have you. I'm sure we'll end up victorious.
Are you sure?
I hope you're right. Really do. Anyway, that's not really important right now. We should meet up with the others. Oh, my baby. It doesn't take long before your group of companions have gathered in the small shop. Some more awake than others. Victoria is sitting in the corner sipping on a coffee, looking a bit haggard like she didn't sleep at all.
Are you okay, Victoria? You look a bit...
What our dear spirit friend is trying to say is, you look like you have been coughed up by a cat.
Wow. What a metaphor. Victoria's eyes twitches.
I'm fine.
Or was that a simile? Simile is where you liken something to something, right? But a metaphor is when you present it as something.
I was up all of last night investigating this Goldner's mansion. I'm afraid Anne's guess was correct. The place is heavily guarded, and I sensed magic somewhere inside as well.
What a hypocrite.
Traps? Or something else? That man is quite a hypocrite, isn't he? Hating magic, but then turning around and using it to protect himself.
Indeed.
I agree. However, that doesn't make the situation any less... difficult.
What about you, our tall friend? Anything useful to add about how you escaped that place?
As an agent of my people, you can imagine that I'm not entirely without skill myself. Going back in, however, if it wasn't due to the gravity of our situation, I would never consider it.
That's bad.
It's a great risk, but we have no choice. We need that artifact now. Failure is not an option, which means I'm going to need your assistance. All of you.
Wait, what?
I need your help.
There is a moment of stunned silence as the word sinks in. Sinks in.
I did not expect that. Did the knight herself really just ask for our help?
That she did?
Does this mean you actually think of us as a team? Oh,
Don't get ahead of yourself. I still think the lot of you are dangerous individuals who must be watched. However...
I did not mean to skip over Mime's dialogue like that. I am sorry. Aw, you need us. We're happy to help.
We're happy to help. Just tell us what we need to do.
We need a way in. We need to deal with any guards and traps we encounter. And we need to locate the artifact.
I'm sure someone working for Goldner would know where he'd store an artifact like that. I've seen his guards hang around the tavern at night. A bit of friendly eavesdropping might be enlightening.
Taverns are traditionally a good place to get information.
As for any magical items we might come across, I'm sure our resident Tinker Mage will be quite capable of handling that.
Wait, what?
You wanted to know more about this Outlander artifact as well, did you not?
Well, yes, but...
If that's settled, perhaps we can use alchemy to get inside. It worked quite well down in the tunnels, and Elizabeth might have some ideas if we go ask her.
We only need 100 more sleeping potions, right?
That's actually not a bad plan, Mime.
Hey, if I get to work, I might be able to finish until sundown. Before sundown.
That's great. Ooh, this is so exciting. It's starting to sound like we're going on some grand adventure together. Do we need a team name? Legendary heroes always have a team name. Something cool, like the Valiant Victors, or maybe the Demon Detectives.
Ah, my baby. That's wow.
Demon Detectives, huh? That's, quite the name.
It's pretty cool, right?
No.
It's certainly unique.
I'm not sure I'm following this weird topsider tradition.
If we're a team, can I then veto this? I veto this.
You guys are no fun.
But tell me, Anne, what was life like at the Academy?
Why do you ask? I thought you were confident the Academy was a horrible mage prison.
Yes. But that doesn't mean I know how you felt growing up there. I thought your perspective would be valuable to consider.
That's rather pragmatic of you. Very well, I'll bite. The Academy is a wonderful place. A safe haven for mages to study and research without fear of the ignorant masses who wish us harm. Everything's in perfect balance, just like Izith intended. Does that answer your question?
It certainly confirms that they brainwashed the lot of you. That's for sure.
That's it. I'm done talking to you.
Ouch. That's gotta sting. Alright. So I am going a bit over time, but before we sign out, you will see now we have the alchemy book where we can and keep track of what we've done. But before we stop, let's update on let's do an update on our companions. Caden, an outlander sent to an enemy valley to investigate the mines. You saved him from Ronan, who captured him after he escaped from Goldner, who imprisoned him after Ronan, the non-demon possessed one, knocked him out while he was trying to do the before-mentioned investigating. That is a mouthful. He is not having the best of days, quite. And Anne. And a recent graduate from the Scene Winds Academy. She is in town to study magically powered artifacts, and you managed to convince her to assist you with your investigation, in return for her being allowed to study your spirit locket. And lastly, Michael. A chaotic mage you found wandering the wilted forest. He appears to be very knowledgeable about spirits and has agreed to assist you with your demon investigation, as long as you keep Victoria from killing him, that is. It'll be fine. Okay then, and that does it for the session. I have gone way longer than I intended to. Thank you for joining me, and this is your friendly goddess of knowledge, signing out.